Welcome back to another Elden Ring video today. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get to the Godskin Apostle, as well as how to navigate the tower, climbing upwards on the outside and the inside part as well in as much detail as possible, as getting to this boss is a lot more of a pain than it seems. You will die a few times, most likely falling to your death, but once you go to this part on the map right here, to the tower, you're going to arrive and you're going to have some climbing to do. You basically just want to eliminate the enemies if you can at range, use a bow or some pots if you can, that way you don't have to worry about them knocking you down, and then you're in a crappy situation. You're gonna have to come back and do it over and over again because they'll respawn, right? So basically just go on this log here and go over here. You're basically gonna want to hug the left side of the tower here, climb up this ladder. There's only a few places that you need to climb on the outside. Thankfully, the inside part is arguably a lot worse. I found that I fell to my death a good handful of times. You have to climb to this part of the tower, up to the top of it, where there will be a site of grace waiting for you, thankfully. But then after that, the inside part, oh my god, what a nightmare. I died a bunch. Once you're up the ladder, go left. Maybe you'll see a person going by like I did. I was going to go right myself, but that leads to a dead end. So when you do get up the ladder, immediately go left. Feel free to hop on your steed if you want, but you can also do it on foot as well. But the steed, of course, will make you jump farther, so do whatever you're comfortable with. Jump up here and make sure you get over these gaps so you do not fall. And when you do get across, just be aware, because I was not, there's an enemy right here that's going to try and knock you off, which is just such a pain. I had the wrong spell equipped. I meant to use Glintstone Comet Shard, which, by the way, super underrated. It hits ridiculously hard, even against like every boss I fought. It's crazy, man. But anyways, once you get here and defeat this guy, go ahead and continue jumping. Maybe consider getting on your mount, as it's quite a gap. And then once you do get across said gap, there is a ladder for you to go up. It is the last one. There's not really a whole lot of, parkouring, climbing involved getting up the tower, thankfully. But, it could be confusing, especially, for myself. When I first got here, I had no clue where I was going. I was jumping up, down, all around, everywhere, trying to figure out where the right path is. Because I seen this guy and I was like, oh, he looks like a really cool boss. I want to fight him and get his clothes because they look really neat. Anyways, I did. But once you get up this top part of the ladder here, there will be a site of grace that you can rest at, thankfully. So you never have to climb this ladder again. You will be able to always respawn up here. Thank God for that. This would be such a pain. Otherwise, I wouldn't even bother. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I got a little too excited that I got up here and I almost decided to go back down by accident. I was trying to read the message there. But yeah, you're going to activate this site of grace, and then we are ready to go and tackle the inside part of this, which is going to be the more difficult part. Maybe it'll be easy for you. It is just a series of a few jumps as well, so be prepared. When you are at the site of grace, you can go right, but it is a dead end. If you go left, you are going the right way. Basically, you're going to go down this staircase. Feel free to use your torch or lantern, as it is a little dark, of course. And when you do get down, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. There's a guy immediately on your right that will try to strike you, so avoid him. And then go ahead and make your first jump. From here, you want to sprint jump to right here. Now, you're going to think this is death because it falls, but as long as you land on the top part, you will survive. If you fall down to this part, you will die. You need to land up there and then drop down. Now, from the right-hand side, simply walk off and land on this little dish. Turn around and walk off again. Then you need to make one jump here, one jump straight across here. Whether you land in the fire or just right there really doesn't matter. And then I would advise taking this guy out, as we have to get to that cage to go up to the next floor. There is one enemy up there as well, which we are going to avoid, as he's kind of a tough opponent. You can fight him if you like, but just kind of a pain overall. And then once you are up there, basically we're going to go and hug around the outskirts, which I will show you in just a second once we enjoy our magic carpet ride. I can't even begin to tell you how many attempts this took, like just mindlessly jumping and trying to figure it out. Oh my goodness. Now, when you do get up here, if you do go behind like I was initially going to, you can open the door, which is the dead end, if you go right from the site of grace, and you can unlock that way. So just skip past this guy and then basically just get to the outskirts. You might see some of these markings on the ground from other players, which is very nice. And then just continue onwards until you see on your left a drop down point, which again looks like guaranteed death, but it is not. Simply make your way down here. And now that you've arrived here, that is it. That is all the parkouring you have to do. You take this cage ride right down to the bottom floor, and you got yourself the site of grace. Now, don't get discouraged if you mess up that first jump after you dodge that knight's attack, because I guarantee you're going to mess it up a few times. I jumped off 10, 20 times, just overthinking, being ridiculous. But now that you're here at the site of grace, you're going to continue onwards on your left, And there will be another opponent here. Feel free to fight him or just dodge and get right into the boss fight. Now you're at Godskin Apostle, and all you need to do is defeat him, and then you get his cool outfit, and you even get a really cool sword at the end, which I will show you. Now, honestly, I find it interesting with the Rock Sling spell because he acts like when you first cast, but you see the cast is one thing before the actual projectile throws, so I think that like meteorite spells are best for this guy for sure. Overall, as long as you're dodging his throwing pots and keep your distance when he does his like weird worm attack stuff, it's really not that bad. I would also recommend a summon to keep him distracted as well. And also, just this example so you can see, when I was using my Glintstone Comet Shard there, he would immediately react and dodge versus the Rock Sling spell. It's like he reacts, but then they throw. It's such an interesting mechanic. I thought that they would have thought of something like that, because otherwise he just can't dodge them at all, and you can just nail him. Maybe if you're lucky, you can have the Meteorite spell and cast that and just get him with area of effect damage like crazy. But honestly, Rock Sling is going to be your best friend. If you are a strength build, I would recommend just going up and parrying. Now, of course, Elden Ring is all about timing and patience. So, you know, make sure that you practice. You know, you're going to fight this guy a good handful of times, most likely, learning his moveset, learning when to dodge, and then also, you know, trying to figure out how to dodge that crazy worm attack or when he spins his sword. So don't get discouraged. You've made it all the way here, done all this jumping nonsense. Take him out. Another thing too, try not to get greedy with hits. Honestly, in Elden Ring or any Souls game, it's gonna get you killed. I tried to Azure Comet him, but he moved way too quick, and I started to panic. I almost had him dead, and he started getting some hits on me. My health was getting low. I started trying to greed hits. You just gotta be patient. The second you start to panic and do this, like, I was almost messing up. I should have died. If that pot had done a little more damage, or I didn't get that heal off, I was done. Thank God for that damage trade, and he is down. Now that he is down, you will get his cool outfit, which I personally like equipping because it looks so friggin' cool. And then behind here, you're gonna see that there is a chest with a fantastic sword in it for you. I personally don't have the faith to equip it, as I'm an intelligence build, but by all means, if you have the required stats to use this weapon, I highly recommend you do, because it is quite good, especially when you upgrade it. So I hope this guide was helpful. I hope that it was as direct and honest as possible. You know, I hope that everything I told you with the climbing was helpful and very, you know, simple to follow. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Godskin Noble is up next, and then Rykard as well. I will see you in the next Elden Ring video.